Well, Josh Allen is done for this year, but has the Bills window closed?
It's always been close with Sean McDermott as head coach.
That is a harsh take,
It
but
always comes
It's
down to
also,
coaching, though.
probably true.
listen, I was gonna say, did you have some Tybo? I feel like you did.
Oh, you felt like I did. That's why you
You
paused.
look like you
He
had
had a
something.
Oh,
feeling.
I
oh.
I mean, I know Bills fans that are blaming McDermott other than blaming the refs. They're tired of him.
Good for them. Good for them.
Not very creative.
I think they
I think it
were
goes further
creative.
than that.
You
I,
I
think
just think
you
he
think
gets
they
out
were
coached.
creative in short yardage
I
situations?
think they were at times. I wouldn't say specifically short yardage. I think they were creative at times, and then at other times they weren't. And I think you need to consistently be creative and consistently find different ways to get your guys the ball. And Sean McDermott only does that when he has to. And when you do that, and Spags brings a blitz on 4th and 5 when you need it, well, you're fucked. Sorry.
I I think it goes deeper than Sean McDermott. I think Sean McDermott is a good coach. He comes from the Andy Reid tree. We know that like he's proven that he's been able to get some things done there in Buffalo that hadn't been done in a very long time once he showed up. I think
They've had a
the
taste of that little bit of success, and they haven't gotten that next step, and they're tired.
I
They're
think
already
I
tired.
think I think the reason why they're not is there's a little bit of a coaching issue, right? He does get out coached. Josh Allen also gets outplayed. I think
I don't
they've
think he got
got
outplayed on Sunday, dude. I don't think he got outplayed.
I, I think the bigger issue comes in at their GM spot. Their GM is getting a lot of credit for bringing in Josh Allen, but really, what's he done outside of that? Like you got lucky on a James Cook pickup that took 3 years, 4 years to get 3 years to get him going. But what have you done after that? You went out and you allowed the Chiefs to trade you and take Patrick Mahomes when you had Tyrod Taylor. You gave away Stephon Diggs. You haven't really brought in any defensive help,
Yeah,
and
but he
that's
also
been
brought in
mainly the.
Stephon Diggs, so
I mean, he
He
that's a
did
traded with
wash.
us.
That's a
He traded with
wash.
us so we can get Trent McDuffie, or we traded up in front of
exactly.
so we can take Trent McDuffie. We traded with them to get Xavier Worthy. Like
I think the
clearly coming
GM's
back
a
to bite them in
closet
the
Chiefs
ass.
fan. He's a closet Chiefs fan.
He had because at this point, like it's been happening every single year. You're either trading with us or you're also not good enough, or maybe you're just not smart enough to realize that the Chiefs are looking to go after a player that you're also scouting, and you're not willing to make those moves. Kansas City trades up to get Patrick Mahomes. We trade up to get Trent McDuffie. We traded with you to get Xavier Worthy while you traded back a couple of different times to pick up Keon Coleman. Now time will tell if he'll end up being the player, but you also gave up on getting Adonai Mitchell, who I thought was going to be better than Xavier Worthy, and time will tell, right? He's got some quarterback problems of his own. But you took what was the lesser of the receivers that were available and you traded down each time to do it. And you, with the picks that you acquired from that, haven't really done anything with it. You keep the same defensive coordinators. You've got an issue there, and that's really why you're kind of losing those games. I think it runs a little bit deeper into that front office more than it does with coaching.
That does play a big factor into it, but coaching matters so much in these games. We've seen it time and time again. How many they did what four fourth down tries? Same thing every single time. Josh Allen to the left. They can't even do the tush push right.
Do you think they're telling him that? Or do you think they're like, fuck it, Alan, just keep doing that. We don't got anything else. Like, do you or do you think he's just like, fuck this, I'm
They
taking
do
it into
have
my
other
own
plays
hands.
because there's other shit that's literally worked against us,
Yeah.
like Josh Allen in the pistol. Josh Allen, uh, like I mean, Pat McAfee was calling it out like earlier
Hmm.
today, and Josh Allen in the shotgun running like a quarterback power or something was way more effective than that quarterback sneak.
Running those naked bootlegs to the outside, just like Pat did
Yeah.
as well on the couple of fourth down point. Like it works lining up under center with the offensive line that they have without having powerful running backs to be able to push him isn't working. It's mainly an out coach thing when you get in those little niche spots.
Well, and like
Um,
their guard or something went down with a bad knee at
yep.
one point, right? It's like, dude, like now you have guys hurt playing for you. You can't be doing shit like that. And I don't know. I applaud um Josh Allen for trying essentially to take the game over like he did earlier this year against you guys, but it's gonna take more than that. It's gonna take
And we
way more
can,
than that to beat you guys.
I but
the
I applaud and almost feel bad for Josh Allen because
oh yeah,
in many ways he put his team in situations to win. It was a glorious schemed call on the 4th and 5 where Spags brought pressure. I think the thing that allowed the pressure to come so freely, I saw it talked about on Twitter, but Chris Jones was lined up over Deion Dawkins, the left tackle, and the protection was slid that way,
Hmm.
and the blitz came on the weak side, and
With the two manned
that's
up
that
guards and
just
tackles on the
feels
other side. Yeah.
calculated by Spags or whatever out there. So
What gets me
it
is they
was.
let three guys through and they had two guys. So in reality, there really should have just been the corner off the edge to try
But
and
that's part
tackle.
of yeah, but
but
that's
that's
part
part
of
of the
that.
sliding of protection. They
Yeah,
went to the left. The protection was slid to the left, and I know what you're talking about. Yeah, no, that was 100% calculated
Well,
by
yeah, but you
Spags.
still had 2 for 3. What I'm saying is like you got to execute. Like you're already outmanned. You still got to pick up the guy in front of you. Like, well, like I'm not trying to take away from Spags the call he made, like at all. But like if you watch that film, you're like, hey, we got two guys manned up on the backside that whiff on 4th and 5, most important play of the year. I can't have that.
Yeah, this
no,
Cannot
and
have
I,
it.
I
I honestly like Josh Allen still rose above, dude. Like, and should have been a first down. Like,
yeah, no, and
Which
that
sucks
may have
for
been a
yeah.
bad spot as well. Like I know a lot of people are talking about that, but
It was.
but
It was.
it,
But you
whether it was or it wasn't, because when you get into a scrum like that, it's very hard to tell where the ball is. You
mhm,
cannot just guess. You have to have proof that it did or did not happen with whatever's called on the field. The biggest problem with that is if that's the only argument that you have, then the
is
rest of the
weak.
game is it's
Yeah.
weak, but the rest of the game is null and void. I mean, how many opportunities did the Bills have? There were 5 fumbles in that game, and
Yeah.
guess what? The Bills recovered all 5. They recovered
Yeah.
all 5.
They had a clean sheet.
Should have
You guys had
thrown
the only turnover of the game.
Josh Allen should have thrown 4 picks on the first initial drive.
Yeah.
Like it was disgusting.
Honestly though, after that first drive, I was like, the Bills aren't winning today. Like that first saw that first drive, I was like, they're not winning. I don't give
And
a fuck how close it gets.
when the Bills started going for 2 and they had to
Bro.
chase points, you
Oh,
knew the game was already over.
dude.
There
Why
were
do
Well,
you take
so
times.
why do you
so
take points away from your team? It's
but
already
like
guaranteed.
we had talked about it the week of, or like the week before, right? Like last week. The reason they beat you in November was because Sean McDermott was like, fuck the field goal. I'm taking the touchdown here, right? That's a great attitude for the fourth quarter. You can't do that shit in the second quarter when you're down, and in the third quarter when you're down. There's too much time left, man. Take the points. What, they missed
We
out
say
on two
that,
PATs?
yeah,
That's 2
They
points. That's 2
they
points right
made
there.
they made
you
the
lost by
one, but there
3.
was a penalty, so they would just like, oh, let's go ahead and go for it. You already have the points on the board.
Bro, like, come on, man. There's a time and place to be like, fuck the field goal, I want 6. And or like fuck the PAT, I want 2. The second and third quarter is not the time for that. Not. And
And there
also too,
was,
if you're bitching about the spot, there was 13 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Like,
yeah,
get the fuck out of here.
a
Like,
lot of time left.
come on, yeah.
But to go back to your point about the like taking the points, there were 2 opportunities where they could have gone for the field goal and screwed themselves over and did not get it.
Hmm.
That's 3 2 6 points that they could have had right there. And that's the exact reason why Brandon Staley didn't last long as a head coach for the Chargers. We talk about it all the time. When you get into the fourth quarter, that's a totally different game plan. You have to be a little bit more aggressive. But for three
Yeah.
quarters, if you're set up to take points, keep yourself in the game. Don't try to get too aggressive. Don't play this cutesy stuff. Keep yourself in the game. And everybody, when it goes to the regular season, they go, okay, yeah, we're going to do that. And then when it comes to, hey, if I don't win, I'm out. Like no more season left. We just throw the game plan out the window that has worked in the past, and that's where the coaching issues come in. So it's a
Yeah.
little bit
Oh
of
man.
front office, it's a little bit of coaching, and then execution. Not on Josh at all. feel bad for the guy. He's
He played his ass
this
off.
generation's Peyton Manning for sure,
Mhm.
because he just cannot get past us. But they, if they want to win it all, the offensive side is not where they need to continue the work. I think they do maybe need like a receiver. I don't think Khalil Shakir can be the number one there for very long. It worked out this year, but moving forward, like that, I don't think he can be the guy. Defensively, you need to make some work around. Matt Milano's not going to be around for forever.
Mhm.
He's rarely there already. Your defensive line is not that great at getting pressure, and then your DBs, like you lost who's the DB that they lost to concussion protocol?
Binford?
He
Yeah,
shouldn't
they
have been
lost Benford.
playing, bro.
No,
Like,
He
there's
should
no
no
have been
one
way he
playing.
should
clears
have
He
been
was
playing.
concussion
no.
protocol in a week. I've tried it. It doesn't fucking work. And the NFL's talking about safety. Get the fuck out of here. Like,
They lost.
clear
You lose
concussion.
Jordan Poyer in the offseason. You do not replace him. Like they've got some problems over there that the front office needs to work on. And uh it's a rough situation there in Buffalo because that window may have just slammed shut.
Bro, Pat McAfee said it today. Like, Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen could go down with 0 Super Bowls on their career. And it's going to be because of Patrick Mahomes. But
Beautiful
that's
thing.
to like add to Pat's resume, like just like Michael Jordan. There's a lot of really good basketball players that played in the 80s and the 90s that don't have rings because of Michael fucking Jordan. And that could very well be the case here with Patrick and the guys in the league right now at quarterback. So hats off to the Chiefs, man. If you think that game was rigged and the refs helped them out, like you just don't really know football because
If you think the game is rigged, go bet on the Chiefs. Easy money
yeah,
every single time.
yeah. Oh,
Every
also,
time.
too, it's like you're gonna get fucked over if you go on the road. You're gonna get fucked over at least once or twice. It happens at every level of football, any type of game. You're gonna get screwed
Every
over
level of
once or twice.
sport.
Honestly,
Every single level of
sports for the
sport.
most part, yeah. Baseball, it's like you could be on the road or at home and get fucked over by Angel Hernandez, but he's gone, so don't have to worry about him.
Outside of the Bills like shooting themselves in the foot by not taking points and doing so, like the Chiefs played damn near a perfect game. Like
Mm,
it was the first time that I said dang near. Hey, we still turned the ball over.
I
There
think
was
you guys
still a
did just
few,
enough to win. I think you
but
guys
we
did
scored
just enough to win. I don't know if
first
that's a
time
perfect game or close to a perfect
first time
game.
we scored
Like
over
you had described it, it was the race to 30 points.
Was a race
We
to
got
30.
there. We got there
first time we
first,
scored over
and it
30.
was truly like a masterful duel between Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. Like,
Hmm.
and Ty Bob, you said the team with the more effective run game was going to win the game, and the Bills had the more effective run game for about 3 quarters, and then when they started doing nothing but quarterback sneaks and short yardage situations, it's when they kind of fell flat. And then our fourth quarter run game was effective and did what it needed to do.
Cook was good. Cook ran the ball well for, like you said,
87
just
yards.
about 3 quarters, dude.
That's the most any running backs put on us this season. He was very effective, and then they stopped going with it, and they needed to continue to. But
I want to just
why
go
I
ahead and
say
say his touchdown late in the second half was one of the most acrobatic touchdowns I have
Oh,
seen.
it was
bro.
That
crazy.
was
The
an amazing
effort was
touchdown.
was
He
yeah, I wasn't
defied
even mad
physics.
about it.
He defied physics. How do you get your hand down and like prop yourself up long enough to get the ball across?
While
Oh,
you're
man.
still like bent in half.
Yeah, like getting tackled. Oh, dude, no. Absolutely insane. That's why you pay for a guy
Also,
like that.
too, I said Josh Allen was going to have the tougher task overcoming the Chiefs defense,
Oh,
and
yeah.
and the Chiefs defense made more plays, made more stops, and the Bills defense didn't make it like easy on us, but we scored 32 points and handled business on the most for the most
Went
part.
4 for 4 at one point for drives like straight into the end zone. The red zone efficiency was while we've been decent this year in red zone efficiency, that was the best that we've done this year so
Hmm.
far. Did not have to settle for field goals at like
Would you
we
guys
were
punt
able
like
to
twice?
just once, if I
And
remember
then you gave
correctly,
one up on
once and a
downs, right?
fumble.
Oh, once and then the fumble. And
Yeah.
Yeah,
and you were perfect on fourth down too.
perfect on fourth down.
But bro, like
In there on the red zone, like
it's just like the Patriots, bro. You get 2 opportunities, like you're gonna get 2 stops a game, and you have to fucking score on those stops. They scored on the fumble, but they didn't score, I think, after you guys punted. I think they had to turn around and punt or like something. They
Well,
turned it over on
they
downs or something.
they had the ball at the end of the game with plenty of time left to go down and at least tie
Yeah.
the game, and they
Yeah.
didn't.
They should have been in a position to win if you go for the
Yeah.
points. Like oh man, the Bills had every single opportunity to win that game. Every single opportunity.
Offensively, we talked about the run game in the fourth quarter, but Travis Kelce is getting locked up all day, which means that other people are going to get open. I still don't know what's going on
Happened.
with DeAndre Hopkins. Like it's got to be the knee has to be bad.
He
The
just
knee
doesn't
has
fucking
to be bad.
care.
He has
He
he has
just doesn't care.
16 snaps this week. He had 12 the week before. Like the knee has to be an issue. But to have Juju
Look,
Smith-Schuster
the
come in and
receiving
be
effort was like collectively, I think
Yeah.
all around
It was good
oh
collectively.
no, I'm
was
not
great.
saying it wasn't. I'm just like wondering what's going on there with DeAndre Hopkins. But Juju Smith-Schuster to come in and be
He still had two
the
catches.
number
I
one
mean,
weapon.
The difference between him and Juju that game was, that Juju had two more dynamic catches.
Yeah.
Like they
He
both
broke a
had two
tackle.
catches, but like Juju had 60 yards on those two catches,
Yeah.
but I mean D Hop, Hollywood Brown, like they were involved when they needed to be.
From the
Hollywood
jump.
I
looked
think
fantastic.
Bro, from the jump they were
Early
involved.
on with the
Yeah.
RPO,
Oh
bring it
man.
Hollywood.
and I think
Wow.
Hollywood Brown is going to be back, and it's
it
going to be
all
electric to see him for
it
a
all
full season.
complemented what they were trying to do with Xavier Worthy, and what they did with Xavier Worthy worked. So
I
Xavier
I
Worthy
like
cannot.
standout
seeing what we
performance in
saw
this
out of the
game.
offense.
Dude, I think DeAndre
I
Hopkins just doesn't give a shit. He's like, I can be on the field, not get 16 targets a game, and we're gonna win a Super Bowl. I'll sign
Hey,
up for that.
yeah.
Like,
That's what
I
you
think he
I,
just
that
doesn't
was
care. I really
I,
don't think he gives a shit.
I'm so excited to see that what like obviously we still have the Super Bowl and we're going to be talking about that, but I am so excited for whatever next year brings. Bring back Hollywood. You still have Xavier, and then we'll figure out the suspension stuff with Rasheed later on. But like once he's back and healthy, the three of those, the passing attack is going to be disgusting.
You're gonna look like the
well,
Chiefs from before you started winning
I
all the
don't
Super
I don't
Bowls.
know. Like don't let's give defenses credit for actually being able to change to morph what they're doing and
Well, you
and
have
and
to. It's
figure
evolve or
figure
die.
stuff out, right? I don't know if we go back to those big plays. I don't know if it actually happens. Pat hasn't done well in those big plays this year or last year. But I do know that those three in the next year or maybe a couple years are going to provide something like never seen before. And we'll need a new
3,000
tight
yard
end.
receivers.
3,000-yard receivers, and then Jared
Yeah,
Wiley
3-1K
coming in.
receivers.
Woo! That'll be scary. Bring
I
Kareem back.
I have a hard time believing that it's gonna stay together for that long. We're gonna keep adding pieces and the revolving door of our wide receiver room.
Well, I mean, that you've got
It's gonna stay spinning.
Rasheed Rice is locked up for another 2 years, and Xavier
Xavier
Worthy's
Worthy's.
locked up for another
He
4.
might be locked up in other terms.
Knock on wood. Knock on
um,
wood.
but
Innocent until
I think
proven guilty.
the best feel good story from this game has to be Kareem Hunt
Yes. I will
making
agree with
the
that.
AFC Championship. Like I loved watching the video. Everybody has practically cleared the field. They're
Of him
cleaning it
kicking
up.
that girl.
He's got his
That's what I
street
thought.
clothes back on, and he literally walked around the field for like another 30, 45 minutes after they were just like the cleanup crews were out there cleaning everything off. He was out there for like another 30, 40 minutes just walking around an empty stadium. Um, and that's a good redemption story. Nobody's saying what he did wasn't wrong, but everybody deserves a second chance. And when you get your second chance and you take care of it in the manner that he has, that's the feel good story.
People don't
One other thing
forget,
that
but yeah, he's done a good job. Yeah.
another feel good moment about this story is this is popping up a lot on social media for me. This is also like the anniversary of back in 2020 where he got pulled over in Cleveland with an open
5 years
container
ago.
of vodka
Yep.
and everything. It's like, man, I should be playing the Super Bowl right now. It hurts my soul. I was like, dude, I'm happy to see it for him, man. It's the best feel good story we got going for him right now, and I'm happy that he made it to Super Bowl. Job's not finished though.
Job's not done. I want to
I was
hear him
pissed.
after we win. I want to hear him on the mic on the stage.
I was pissed. It was either him or Pacheco that were going to score. And Pacheco had a real good look down at the goal line in like the third quarter. He almost got in. But he didn't, and I knew either one of them was going to like have a day, and it was Hunt. That was the last touchdown I needed for a good parlay. Took Terry and took James Cook. Oh, just needed Pacheco. Bummer. That's why they call it gambling, though.
I want to give a special shout out to our offensive line, though. I think they had a tremendous day out there.
You had a bad start. You had a really bad start, but they picked it
but
up late when it mattered. And that's the thing
Joe
with the
Tooney
Chiefs.
gave up his first sack this year.
Yeah, that's the whole thing with your team, though. It's like when it fucking matters, you're gonna get the job done. At the end of the day, like
no consistently stupid, dumb penalties on the offensive line like we usually have. That was fantastic to see. They always pick it up in the playoffs.
I mean, like you, besides like, I think you had like a false start, or maybe you had like an illegal formation or something. Like you had like one or two pre-snap penalties, I think, maybe this game, and no holding calls, I think. Like, again, maybe one. I really
Out
can't.
on either side.
I mean, I would say like it was a clean game for the most part. I mean, the Bills had their slew of pre-snap penalties, which what was that on the fumble that they recovered?
Illegal shift.
Illegal shift. Interesting. I think all pre-snap penalties should blow the play dead. I don't think you should like offensively. If you line up illegally, if there's an illegal motion, an illegal shift, blow that shit right there. Don't let that play happen. But yeah, it was a great game. I like if you're pissy about the Chiefs getting helped by the refs, like just go cry in your pillow about it, dude.
I did. I like the question, Tommy, that you brought up earlier. I think it bodes well with what we've been talking about. Is the window closing for the Bills? Your question earlier to me today is do the Bills and the Detroit Lions make a trade?
I did not. You did ask you that question. Yeah, dude. Why? Why would you want Jared Goff after the performance he just put on in the divisional game? Why the hell would you want Jared Goff?
I don't disagree. I mean, I don't know if you do, but if you're the Bills, the Lions, do you make this trade? Jared Goff, David Montgomery, at least 2 twos for Josh Allen.
Man, it would have to be
2-1s probably at least.
Bro, that's a king's ransom. That's a king's ransom.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be all that and a bag of chips and a cookie and a drink. Like
The combo meal.
Couple sides.
A full meal. And so, like Josh Allen is worth every key position out there. Like
He is the Bills.
he is the Bills. And that
I mean, I would
the
say
the Bills front office needs to work on their roster building and acquisition skills because that this year they overperformed what a lot of people thought they would because they lost some key players and they felt like there wasn't they're aged on defense and there wasn't help in the wide receiver core. Like they didn't do much to add back players that they had that had departed in the offseason. So they outperformed what a lot of people thought they were going to do, and they get to a point again where they just can't make it happen. So something's got to change on the roster to build around Josh Allen because they're not going to part ways with him. And that may end up being a coaching change, but they just need to put better players around Josh
Who
Allen.
do you hire if you get rid of McDermott? Like who?
nobody
Rex Ryan.
now. Like
Bring him in.
there's nobody now. Like you have to ride with
Mhm.
McDermott. The good coaches are like you don't have. There's nobody left. But I will tell you the
You know
one.
what you could do though? You could really spurn the Patriots right here and go after Bill Belichick.
I mean, yeah, you could.
There's no way Bill goes up to Buffalo.
No,
I mean,
absolutely
Kellen Moore.
not.
You could interview
wouldn't
Kellen
he?
Moore. You could talk to him.
I would just say if you're the front office of the Bills, you see 816 or 913 ringing on your phone, don't pick it up. I mean,
Mhm.
I hope you do because you've obviously helped us out, but for your sake, don't answer.
No. Calls
Just
dead.
don't do it.
Yeah, the line is
They'll
dead.
do it.
The line.
Block that number immediately.
Yeah. Seriously. Who's the GM's Bean, right? Up there?
Old Brandon?
Brandon Bean? Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say he's a bad GM, dude, but you
Good.
gotta help
gotta
out
He's
get
not a
Josh
better.
great
Allen.
GM.
They got to do
He's not a
something
great
else to
GM.
make the next step. They
You
have
gotta
to
help
get
him
better.
out. Because
Is
I mean, that D line is amazing. That's a terrifying defensive line they have. And Matt Milano got fucking exposed. Okay. Ed Oliver and Von Miller are good. Take it
I
easy.
mean, Vaughn's 90.
Von Miller had no stats in the Super Bowl.
He didn't do anything.
Von Miller
It-
was not effective. Von Miller is at
In
the
the
end
Super
of his
Bowl.
career.
And you know what he means.
I know what you mean. And I want to find you, but I won't.
Do it.
It's all right. The moment is past. The moment
Von
is
Miller
past.
is at the end of his career.
Yeah, he's at the end of the
Ed-
career,
Ed
but you
Oliver
still have
is
to
the
like
best-
you still have to like it's the name that you're like blocking at this point. Like you have to respect it. You have to respect Von Miller.
Situationally block him, yeah.
But
Yes,
yeah,
that's
Ed,
what- yeah,
Ed
that's
Oliver is the best piece on that D line.
Gregory Russo's a good number 2.
Yeah.
I just think they're a little mid.
They've
See,
not
I
been
would trade.
as
I would
effective
trade
as they
for
were in
the
past.
I would trade for the guy from the Bengals if I was
Hendrickson.
Trey
Buffalo.
Hendrickson.
Yeah, Trey Hendrickson
Something's got to change.
has to.
They need quite a few changes over there, and it's for some pieces there on that defense is the main thing.